So let's talk about that. Like, that's crazy. You were in the ring with Pat McAfee, and that's The Rock's completely unannounced return.
Yeah.
How do you even find out you're going to be part of that segment?
So the day starts. I have nothing that day at SmackDown. You know, I'm kind of lingering around wondering, like, am I doing anything? Haven't heard anything. Was it a setup? I don't know. But it didn't feel like one. But if it was, then wow, you got me. But I remember maybe like we have an hour before the show kicks off. So probably we were in, where was it?
Isn't that Colorado?
Yep, Colorado.
Yeah.
So the time's probably what, like a couple hours
I think
back?
it's Mountain Time.
Yeah.
So
we had like an hour before the show, and I get a call, and I end up going to Triple H's office, and he basically gives me the rundown of like, hey, Pat McAfee's coming back. We're thinking you go out there, you cut a promo, and then kind of get on him, and then we'll have The Rock come out. And then I'm just like, for real? I'm like, all right. So then they're sitting there, and then the head writer, he's like, hey, well, you know, there's not a lot of time left now. There's like 40 minutes, 30 minutes left. He's like, just, you know, go figure out what you want to say to Pat, and then we'll figure out the rest.
And you guys are kicking off the show.
Yeah. And they're like, we'll tell you, you know, what you're doing with Rock when he gets here. So I'm like, well, he's not even here. This is crazy. So I like go away, and I start thinking in my head, and I start thinking too about the last time I was in the ring with Pat McAfee and how the promos were. Like, I remember he said some things that I couldn't, you know, I could only say what I was able to say, but I feel like there was some more freedom there for him, you know? So in my mind, I'm like, well, this is where I've got to take it. Like, I've got to get it back, you know? So going out there, like, we had the same outfit on. So I rip into him about that. Like, you know, you don't look like me in a tank top. And I called him something. And then Rock comes out. And before Rock comes out, kind of going back to when I met Rock, I remember I came up with what I wanted to say on Pat. I was like, okay, I got it. And then I just get a text, come outside, Mel Talent. And I come outside, and it's one of the writers, and he's like, come with me. And then next thing I know, I'm with Hunter, Triple H, and Nick Khan, and we're all walking outside. The buses are there, and this black car pulls up. Like 6 people get out. It's so like it's just insane to me. Rock gets out, and I'm like, this is crazy. He's like the size of a blimp. He looks insane. I'm like, what is going on? They walk over to, I think they're just trying to get us on a bus so we can, you know, this can be private and nobody sees Rock and stuff. And I think we get on, Nick Khan knocks on like Charlotte Flair's bus, and like, they're like, hey, can you get off? Like, she's like, all right. So she just gets off, and then we get on the bus. And then, I just remember I was in the back of the bus with The Rock, and he was kind of telling me like, you know, he's like, man, when we get out there, it's going to be magic. Just feel it. It's going to be good. And I kid you not, being out there with him, he did like these Jedi mind tricks, like with his eyes, when I just knew when to go, like when to say something, and like just feeling it with him, you know? And he would just, I don't know, just with his eyes, like, boom. And I was like, oh man, but it was such an experience. And like, I just felt like so, just on top of my game, you know?
How loud was that pop when it came out?
Crazy. And what was even louder was me getting called an asshole from this side and then this side. Asshole. But they were like, you're an asshole, or stuff like that. But it was great. I was just standing there, and I was like, this is insane. And then the most messed up part about it, though, everything was great. But this is where the beef is with Dwayne. My Yeezy came off during the people's elbow. You know what Dwayne did with my shoe?
He threw it in the crowd.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't get it back.
You know how easy it probably is for him to get a Yeezy? Do you think he pays for it?
I don't think so.
You think I paid for it?
Actually, he's probably wearing Under Armour shoes, so.
That's right.
Yeah, but I bet you paid for it.
I bet I did.
I bet he didn't pay you back for that one shoe.
He did not. And that is what we still have to talk about.
This sounds like a WrestleMania match to me.
And let's be fair. Rock was gone a long time. And who was the one person he decided to come back on because he knew it was going to be hot?
That's a good point.
You know, that's right.
Yeah.
But enough about Dwayne. Enough about that guy.